John, obviously a frustrating afternoon on Monday. What's the reaction been like from the boys?
Yeah, it's been a positive reaction. I think the lads came in obviously feeling disappointed after the game on Tuesday, but we ran down the positives and some of the things that we need to improve from the game. We've taken that into training today, so I think there's a natural bit of disappointment, but again, positivity about the fact that we're still 5 points off sixth, and with 5 games to play, there's still plenty to play for. So, just bouncing into the weekend with another Saturday, Tuesday game. Again with a lot to play for next week.
The game was on the Monday, so what's the rest of the week going to look like for the boys?
Yeah, I mean, slightly different week. Usually we have the Saturday, Tuesday games, and everything's quite usual in terms of the way that we set up training and the days that they're in. So it was slightly different this week, but back at it. We had a day off yesterday, back in training today, normal day tomorrow, and travelling to Shrewsbury. So back onto the schedule, and then another normal schedule next week.
What have been some of the key areas you've been working on whilst the boys have been in?
I think we just have to figure out how to break sides down, and that's one of the things that's been apparent over the past few weeks, especially at home and even away from home. If you look at MK Dons for the first 40 minutes when we had 11 men, it was all about how we broke them down and how we created more chances, and that's what we want to do. We want to create more opportunities, have a bit more quality in some of the key areas going forward, and that's what we've been focusing on today. We know it's going to be a very, very different game, so we have to make sure that we're switched on to our defensive responsibilities and our shape off the ball as well, but certainly looking at how we can create a bit more and just cause their backline a few more problems.
What are you expecting from Shrewsbury?
I think we're expecting a reaction from Shrewsbury, who've been on a bit of a tough run recently, and we know that they're a really good side. They had a really, really excellent run a couple of months ago that's really shot them into playoff contention, and they're a good side who have suffered quite a few injuries and suspensions, and they've been pretty unlucky over the past couple of weeks and couple of months, and obviously find themselves in a pretty good league position, I think, all things considered, but probably wanting to kick on and finish the season really strongly. So we know that they've got some good players, they're well organised, and Steve Cottrell's an extremely experienced manager. And so we expect, a really, really good test. I've been there quite a few times in my career, and I know that it's a quite tough place to play football, and I expect them to be fully at it come Saturday at 3 o'clock.
And just finally, what's the latest injury news?
Thankfully, Paddy's returned from training today. Returned to training today from his injury, so we're going to ease him back in. Whether he'll be available for selection at the weekend, we'll have to see how he reacts and make sure everything is fine after today's training and tomorrow's training before we make an assessment on that. I think Zach is back and closer to fitness now, hopefully only a couple of weeks away. He's looking good, he's moving quite well. Ronan's off the crutches, which is really positive, and I think he's 3 weeks now post-op and really looking to push on with that. And then I think a couple of the others who we've obviously got, Jaden, who's back out on the grass and progressing really nicely from the long-term ACL, and then Jay Mingy just coming back off a knock that he picked up last week and just struggling a bit with that at the moment, but coming back out on the grass today, so hopefully in a few days he'll be fit and available.